our middle school, our teachers, we really encourage teachers to use project-based learning to create those really engaging activities for students. One thing we really try to do is try to have teachers apply what they're learning in the classroom to the real world. One of our organizations that works directly with our Cyberhawks Robotics Club, we have our school's name is Colonel Fred Cherry Middle School. The family of Colonel Fred Cherry Middle School, they have adopted the Cyberhawk group. Colonel Fred Cherry, he was a Vietnam War veteran who was the first African-American POW. He was the highest ranked African-American POW. Once he came back from being a POW, he went into IT. His company is actually still active in Northern Virginia. So the family kind of made that connection with our Cyberhawk group. So anytime that they need funds and things of that sort, they'll kind of fundraise and make sure that group specifically, they get what they need. So that's one of our key community partners.
From our Valen work, we were able to really narrow down where we needed to start. We kind of had a big picture that we wanted to implement the 5 C's, we want project-based learning, we wanted to do all of that. And then what we discovered was that student engagement was really what was lacking in our district, and we needed to figure out how we could improve student engagement, how we could get teachers on board with how they could engage students in real-world learning. And so with that, all of the work we did really narrowed it back down to we need to provide professional development to our principals on student engagement and help them see the larger umbrella. And with that umbrella for us, it's Virginia Tiered Systems of Support, it's discipline, it's project-based learning, it's the 5 C's, kind of putting it all together so they can see the connection between all of them.
Well, my philosophy is that science is a verb. And we try to do lots of hands-on activities. You have to do it to learn it. Yes, you can read about it in a book and you can see what they've said, but unless you've actually done the activity and touched the manipulatives, it's going to leave your brain a whole lot much faster than it sticks. This is just a physical building. Your classroom is what you make of it, what you bring to it, and what you fill it with. I like to bring excitement. One of the statements that I like to tell new teachers is that teaching is actually 99% being a thespian and acting, and it's 1% content knowledge, because you need to maintain the interaction with your students, and it takes a lot of energy to do that. With the technology and the use of the Google Classroom, the years past I've had students build sales books, like a catalog. So if you needed an extra cell part for one of your cells, a new mitochondria or a rough ER, you could order one from this catalog. So they're able to collaborate together, all working on the same document at one time. So the past 2 years, my robotics club has been interacting with the Office of Naval Research and Penn State University through the SEAL Challenge. It stands for Sea, Air, and Land, and you can enter one or all 3 of the challenges. And what you do is your team builds a drone or a submersible robot or a land robot, and you have to complete the tasks that they give you at hand.
PBL learning is like the real world. For our students, it's a practical application of how they should be learning, because it's how we learn in the natural world. You think of a child, they learn from exploration. They don't learn from sitting still and having their mother say this word over and over again. They learn from hearing other people and from experiencing the world. So for me, PBL is like a natural progression that we need to move students into, because project-based learning is really practical application of learning. It's not textbooks, it's not lecture, it's students actually learning from experience.
My name is Tyler Silman, and I am in the 6th grade. I would say science kind of like releases you. If you learn more about things and how they work, it's cool how you see the world in different ways. Even the small stuff is super important in science. It's just amazing. As the years go on, increasingly most jobs are being replaced by robots or computers and things like that. And usually if you don't know anything about coding or robotics, you're going to be out of a job. If you can make robots, improve them, fix them, things like that, as the years go on, as the robots replace the workers, you would play a key role with the robotics.
So we are really a Google district, but specifically we're a Google school. The school district really pushes teachers, because we have the technology, because it's so much easier to use the Google Classroom. It's just really going to help enhance instruction for students. It's going to really grow that student engagement, is really going to allow better use of our open learning areas, because we have the open learning areas here, which is a collaborative space. And that's just another means of engaging students in instruction.
I hope by introducing some of the technology that we have in my classroom that they will go home and be more interested in computer sciences and coding and things like that, and just problem solving, critical thinking. A lot of the kids will go home and ask for Spheros or for Ozobots for Christmas, and so then they're actually doing that stuff at home as well. So there are different things that in the room that students can use on their own or with classes. Different building type of things like Lego and Kiva planks, cardboard, different processors and motherboards that they can look at. Just a whole bunch of different materials. They can take things apart, like, well, what does the inside of a glue stick look like? They can take it apart if they want to. Or an old, what's this called, GPS, iron, or a scale. In the different closets, there are other different types of materials that they could use to create whatever their little heart desires. And so they put together the robot that can go on a light sensor or a remote control. And here's the evil genius. His head came apart, but they created the brain and all the electrical cords because he is a robot. The eyes actually would light up. And when he would be evil, his beard would grow. And on it, it says, now I'm evil. But don't pull my beard out too far because it will come out. But inside, they made the inside of the robot missing a heart because evil people don't have hearts. But so they would not carry it, they would drive this robot around into the office, into the gym, and the kids really just love being able to create stuff.
My name is Kelsey Hamby. I teach Tech Ed at Colonel Fred Cherry Middle School. I teach grades 6th, 7th, and 8th. Right now we have this critical shortage of skilled labor in every field almost. You know, everything here, it seems to be, because we are so close to the ocean, we have shipyards and we have a lot of things that have to go along with that. But we need electricians, we need plumbers, we need things like that. And I think sometimes our kids they're not given the opportunity to know. If you go through CTE, I have friends that do HVAC work, went through VOTEC in Virginia Beach and make more money a year than I do and have no student loan debt because they chose that path.
So really, if I had more straws, it would have been better, but I was going to make the outline and then because I wanted to get hit from the front, I'm going to make the front more armored and make the back sturdy. So when it gets hit up against the wall, it will be stable. Hands-on classes are much better than book work because I actually get to do the work. And it will help me because I get to learn how to engineer and build stuff.
A lot of times, students, they won't remember what you did, but they will remember how you made them feel. And that's kind of like the approach I've used in leadership. That's really with whether it be with students, whether that be with staff, teachers. I mean, the content piece, I mean, that's the easy part. I think making sure that adults can connect with students, I think that's how we've been successful. Especially here at the middle school level, sometimes from minute to minute, they may feel a certain way, but I think us as adults, if we're able to tap into that social, emotional learning, then we can get more out of students.